Hi, grade 8 learners! Welcome to my science vlog class. For today's lesson, I will be discussing the 3 Newton's laws of motion. I divided the topics into 2 parts, wherein in this part, it focusing on the law of inertia and interaction. Since we discussed the laws of motion, let us define first what motion is. Motion referred to changing in position of an object due to unbalanced force. In our previous lesson, we defined unbalanced force as an equal amount of forces exerted by 2 objects. To give you a short background about the laws of motion, Sir Isaac Newton was an English scientist and mathematician famous for his discovery of the law of gravity as well as the 3 laws of motion. Today, these laws are known as Newton's laws of motion and describe the motion of all objects on the scale we experience in our everyday lives. The Newton's laws of motion describes as an object in motion tends to stay in motion, and an object at rest tends to stay at rest unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. The second law states that force is equal to mass times acceleration. And lastly, it is described that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. The first law of motion is called law of inertia. It states that an object at rest tends to stay at rest, and an object in motion tends to stay in motion unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. We described already that the unbalanced force is an equal amount of forces exerted by the 2 objects or bodies. Take a look of this illustration. What does this mean? An object will keep doing what it was doing. When the object was sitting still or at rest, it will remain stationary. It takes force to change the motion of an object. In this scenario, force play an important role in changing the position or motion of an object or to stop its motion. If you are traveling 70 miles per hour and the car suddenly stops, your body will remain traveling 70 miles per hour. Meaning, your body is continuously moving at the same speed of a car has. Seatbelt is one of the important part of the car that will help a person to prevent having more serious injuries. And now, I will show you another illustration. Your truck has brakes, the massive hunk of stone doesn't. As I have said a while ago, when the car is moving, the body or object inside of it is still moving at the same speed of the car has. In this case, we can define what inertia is. Inertia is the tendency of an object to resist changes in states of motion. It explains that the greater the mass of an object, the greater the inertia. If objects in motion tend to stay in motion, why don't moving objects keep moving forever? Things don't keep moving forever because there's always an unbalanced force acting upon it. A book sliding across a table slows down and stops because of the force called friction. If you throw a ball upwards, it will eventually slow down and fall because of the force called gravity. And the next law, which is the third law of motion, called law of interaction. It states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. This law explains according to its properties. Number 1, action and reaction always come in pairs. Next, action and reaction are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. The third one, action and reaction forces act on two different bodies. And lastly, action and reaction forces have the same line of action. What does this mean? For every force acting on an object, there is an equal force acting in the opposite direction. Right now, gravity is pulling you down in your seat, but Newton's third law of motion says your seat is pushing up against you with equal force. This is why you are not moving. There is a balanced force acting on you, the gravity pulling down, and your seat pushing up. Think about it. Why does it hurt so much when you stub your toe? When your toe exerts a force on a rock, the rock exerts an equal force back on your toe. The harder you hit your toe against it, the more force the rock exerts back on your toe. And the more your toe hurts. To check your understanding, it's quiz time. I'm giving you only 3 minutes in answering this quiz. So that's all for today's lesson. The next part of this topic will be discussed in the next video. So thank you for listening. I hope you learned something. If you want more topics to discuss, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more updates in our next Sci Vlog class. Stay safe. Bye!